Ready? Today I wanted to share a very easy recipe. This is a perfect weeknight recipe because this is gonna be quick. I'm gonna make pasta in my Instant Pot. So generally with pasta you boil your water first, you put in your pasta, then you create the sauce on the side. This is gonna be a one pot dish, right? Who has time to wash all those dishes? So I have my pasta in here. This is the Barilla Protein Plus, so this has a little bit more protein in it, which is why I like to use it. You can also use your regular pasta or any pasta that you have on hand. Just make sure the cooking instructions, like check the timing on it, because that's how we're going to adjust the time on the Instant Pot. This is farfalle, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, or you can also use penne or any other pasta type you have, elbow pasta, whatever works, whatever is in the pantry, right? That this needs to be easy. I have some garlic here, so 2 big cloves of garlic, and then some tomato puree. So you can use your fresh tomatoes and grind them up in the mixer or in your blender, or you can use like a store-bought canned, or I have shown you mine, which is Pomi, P-O-M-I. That's kind of the crushed tomato or chopped tomatoes that I use, and generally if I need a finer puree I will just pulse them in the blender. So I really like that particular brand because it's not too sour, it doesn't have too much sodium going in there, so it's really good. It's an Italian brand, perfect for pastas, right? So my Instant Pot is cooking on saute mode and it is now hot. So let me show you the spices that I have. So here's all the spices or condiments that I'm going to use. I have basil, thyme, oregano, some chili pepper flakes, salt, olive oil. I also have some shelled edamame here. I'm going to add that just to add some green, and also to make sure that to again amp up the protein factor a little bit, because there's a lot of carbs even if the pasta is my pasta is protein plus. One final thing, you can also add peas if you want. You can add other veggies if you want, but this is just what I'm using today. So in went some oil, about a tablespoon or so, and to this I'm gonna add my chopped garlic, some red chili flakes. Just adjust that according to your spice level, and just saute this for about half a minute, and then I'm gonna add some tomato. So there's my garlic cooking. I'm gonna dump in all of my tomato in there, and I'm gonna show you how that looks. I don't want it to splatter on here on the screen here. Okay, so in went the tomato. Let it cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. You just want to be careful that the tomato doesn't splatter outside. If you want, you can always cover this with a glass lid as that cooks, or you can stir it around from time to time. Yeah, so let that happen. And then meanwhile I'm going to start putting in some of the dried herbs as well as spices. Okay, so in went some thyme, oregano, and dried basil. Again, adjust that based on your preference for these dried herbs. Dried herbs are strong, so you only want about 1/4 to a half a teaspoon in there, again depending on the combination that you're putting in. Up next I added some salt and black pepper, and again this is almost getting done, so I'm gonna maybe saute this for another minute. Now the version, again there's various ways you can make this. This is tomato in there, so you can just have like a marinara pasta if you want. I'm gonna make a creamy tomato pasta. So at this point I don't want to do anything. I'm gonna dump in the pasta itself. But I'm going to finish it off and make it creamy at the end. Okay, so I added in about 1/4 of a cup of the edamame, and then about a cup of the pasta itself. Just going to mix it up a little bit here and turn off my saute mode. So now I'm just going to check if the amount of like sauce is enough for this pasta or not. If not, I'll probably add a little bit more. But all you want to do is like add 1 to 2 cups depending on the quantity you're making and how much saucy you like your pasta to be. So once I test that out, I'm going to cover this with water. You want enough water to cover the pasta. Okay, so as you can see, I basically used half of this box of pasta, so about 4 servings, I guess. And then I covered it up with water. It will take about 1 to 2 cups of water, okay? So it also depends, like this particular pasta has like a lot of volume. It also, like if you have penne, it's probably closer together, so you might need less water. Now all we are going to do is give it a taste test. So just taste the sauce a little bit to make sure that your salt, pepper combination, all of those are in what you expect it to be. And then we are going to cover this and cook it on manual mode for 4 minutes. So this is just manual high pressure. This particular pasta takes longer to cook, but it does say 10 minutes for al dente. So that's why you want to half the amount it says on there. So 10, half is 5, and then reduce a minute from it. So 4 minutes in there. And then you want to, once the timer stops, you want to let it naturally release for about 5 minutes, and then you can do a quick release. You do not want it to go on and on, because I suspect that the pasta will get tender. So if you want it to be a little bit more al dente or maintain that bite, then you want to make sure that you do open it after 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so here I have pressure cook, manual high, and then I'm going to reduce that timer to about 4 minutes, like I had mentioned, and I will see you on the other side. Hey. So I opened this up after about 6 minutes of warm mode. So first the 4 minutes of manual pressure cook, and then let it sit about 6 minutes, and then quick released it. So here's how my pasta looks, and it's perfectly al dente. So now I just turned on the saute mode just so that I could mix this up, and so that the pasta stays hot, because I'm gonna add some cream to this. So here I have some whipping cream. You can also just add your cheese at this point. If you were using peas, I would recommend adding your frozen peas at this time, just so that the color of the peas stays nice and perfect and it has that good bite. So I added the cream, and then I'm just gonna crumble in some feta cheese. This cheese has a nice salty bite to it. So again, make sure if you're using this particular cheese that your salt content is not too much. And then this is it. Just kind of plate it and serve it and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.